Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our live stream, Dr. Selfridge. Great to see everybody in the chat room going already with all your questions and checking in and saying hello. We're here every Sunday, Dr. Selfridge Music. We're going to talk about, well, if you've been here before, you know what we're going to talk about. But if you're new, we talk about all your questions that have to do with band and playing musical instruments. And if you have a request, I can play a request. We do all kinds of things. And we have a good time. So I'm just make sure my levels here are good. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. And let me pause my music here because I still kind of hear it in my headphones just a little bit. Okay. So welcome everybody. It's Sunday. It's 3 o'clock where I live. I live in the southeastern area of Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. One thing I always like to do is hear where people are watching from. So we're going to start to say hello to some people. Actually, why don't we go ahead and just start saying hello to some people right about now. So let's check in our chat room. And I just want to say right off the bat, we'll say hello to Alexander. Alexander looks like a new name to me. So Alexander, welcome to you. And, of course, Mike Hamilton is here. Hi, Mike. And Edgar is here. Edgar plays the saxophone. Edgar, I hope you're still here because when you checked in, we still had some time to go before the show started. And, of course, we're going to say hi to Daisy. Hello to Daisy. And let's see. Of course, we want to say hi to James. James, who's checking in for, I think this is probably your first time on the stream. So feel free to pop in with a question. And I think you already did, actually. Let's go to Mike Hamilton, our good friend. And Mike Hamilton says, by the way, guys, you can request a song for me to play or a song for us to play together. I've got a whole bunch of instruments here. Which you can't quite see, but I've got my bass clarinet, my trombone, my soprano sax, my euphonium, my flute, my tenor sax. I have a piano, so lots of cool stuff. Question from Mike. I tried to do the circle of fifths. I think I managed B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B flat. Then I lost. Okay, so Mike, you almost made it all the way around the circle. Mike plays the alto sax, so let me grab my alto. And you got it, Mike. You got everything except for, let's see, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Yeah, you're only missing, what, like 4 notes. B, E, A, D, G, C, F, then B flat, and then we continue in our fourths. So what's 4 notes higher than B flat? A perfect fourth higher than B flat, it's E flat. So let me play with the notes that Mike wrote in his comment there. B, E, A, D. G, C, F, and then B flat. So we continue with our perfect fourths. B flat, E flat, Mike, is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this pinky. You can either do it with or without the octave key. I'll do it with. Then we have A flat, which is a G plus the pinky. Then we have D flat, which is no fingers at all. Wait, yeah. Then F sharp, which is 1, 2, 3, 2. And then you're back at B. So the only ones you didn't have were E flat, A flat, D flat, and F sharp. And that's it. Circle of fourths is very useful, folks, if you want to practice to get to know all the keys on your instrument. We want to say hi to Raj. And Liam is asking for some help on how to play a C. So this is a good reminder, folks. If you have a question for me, make sure you tell me what instrument your question is about, and then ask me your question, because that helps me. Otherwise, because I can tell you how to play a C on a lot of instruments, but I need to know which instrument you play. Okay. So James plays the trumpet, and I think, James, you were asking me about a bass guitar. I think that was you. I don't typically talk about bass guitar too much on the live stream, but I can probably answer if you have a basic question about a basic question. No pun intended. But if you have a basic question about it, I can probably answer that. Daisy says, I'm glad I'm getting better at my ear training. It takes a while to get the song, but I'm improving. Wow, yeah, ear training is so important. And I think, Daisy, you said earlier you're doing some improv, like some jazz improv. That's very exciting. I love jazz improv. We might even be able to do some today. Okay, let's keep saying hello to people. You know what I want to do? Actually, Dennis, we're going to say hello to you. So let's bring Dennis in. And hi, Dennis. How are you doing?
Good, Steve. And you?
Doing very well.
Okay.
So it looks like we have a nice, looks like Mike brought us a trivia question. So did you read Mike's trivia question, Dennis?
I did. I posted it up.
Okay, I'll read it out loud. Do you happen to know the answer?
Part of it.
I know part of the answer too. So let's bring up, by the way, folks, Dennis is on the line with us every week, and he helps us out with just maybe highlighting some questions that I might miss. So let's go to Mike's trivia question. Okay, Mary Lou Williams wrote and arranged for Duke Ellington and Benny Goodman. What instrument did she play? She was friend, mentor, and teacher to some of the jazz greats, but who? So I know half of that answer, and I could probably maybe guess who she was. I know what instrument she played, and I could probably guess who she taught or had who she was a mentor for. So, folks, if you know the answer, feel free to put it in the chat. The only rule with our trivia question, it's the same rule if you're ever playing quiz games. You're not allowed to Google it, or if you do Google it, you can't use Google to give us the answer. But you can Google it if you're curious. Just don't give away the answer. Only put the answer in there if you know it from your own brain. Okay, Liam O'Donnell plays there he goes. Liam O'Donnell plays the clarinet. So let me answer Liam's question: how to play a C. So Liam, there are three octaves of C that you can play on the clarinet. The first one we learned is a low C below the staff. It's thumb 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that's the one you're asking about. That's the low one. Thumb 1, 2, 3 on your left hand. If you want to play the next octave, you have to put down thumb 1, 2, 3. On the right hand, you put down 1, 2, 3. Cover up all these holes on your clarinet. Then your right hand pinky has to play this button. It's the bottom of these two upper keys, the lower one, I should say. And your thumb has to tap the register key in the back. That could be a tricky one for younger players because there's a lot of opportunities for your fingers to slip off the keys, and if any air is leaking out, it won't work. Then there's the high C, which is thumb, register key, and that's it. It's a really high note. Okay. So, hello to Lil Baby Eater. Good to see you. Let's go to, this is Dennis who highlighted Mike's trivia question. Hello to Mia Ann. Hi to Alan Chen, who is new and plays the clarinet. Hello to Isabella. Hello to Saya Kazemi. I really try my best to say your names correctly, folks. If I don't say your name correctly, if you write it out in the chat for me kind of phonetically, that would help me out. Gaming says hello. Gaming Livet. Mike is always very helpful in the chat. Yes, we do like to meet our new people. Tell us how long you've been playing. Tell us what school you go to. We can give your school a shout out. Allison is here. Whoa, my chat just jumped. Okay. Sophia says, konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. I missed Gaming Air Livet says I sent you an email. Okay, I don't think I saw that email. I'll have to check. There's James' question about the bass. Isabella plays violin, oboe, piano, and is new on clarinet. Let's keep moving here. Hey, there's my good friend Gabe. Hi, Gabe. Let's see. Let's keep moving here. James plays trumpet and bass guitar. Shane McFerrin says hello. All right, Mike, I'll give you our first request of the day is Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller's most famous big band song is probably this one. It's called In the Mood. If you want to play this song, everybody, you go to Dr. Selfridge Music. And I'm going to just put this on my laptop full screen. So everybody check it out. That's not where I want to be. Well, it is where I want to be, but I've got my little picture on there. Let's take that off. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to get this song to play for Mike. You go to drselfridgemusic.com. You go to live. I think it's under live stream jazz. And big band favorites. All right. Big band. So the where you go is drselfridgemusic.com. Live stream jazz. Big band favorites. Here we go. Alto Sax. And the very first one on the page is In the Mood. Here we go. This is for Mike. And I'm going to do the intro. I'm going to do it from the melody. And there's a repeat sign which goes back to the melody here. Actually, I need to correct this sheet music. I'm missing a repeat sign right here. I'll do here, back to here, and then second ending. All right. 1, 2, 3. There's a second part. There's a second part which goes on from there. All right. Let's keep it moving here. I know we always get a lot of great requests, so I want to keep moving quickly. JL or J3CO. I'm thinking of playing flute and soprano sax. Okay. I would recommend maybe you start with flute. They do have very similar fingering patterns. So maybe, you can start with whatever one you prefer. If you're joining a school band, I recommend you start with flute because that's a lot more common with a school band age. And then as you advance, you can add soprano sax. Isabella is asking what instrument everyone plays. Yeah, please share what instrument you play. That's always fun to know. Hi to Skylar. Hi to Valerie. Hi to Sobrine. James says, I am not new. Oh, okay, James, you're not new. Sorry, James. Well, thanks for being here. Hotline Bling on sax. Okay. Oh, and Skylar's calling me. Okay. So, guys, if I said you were new and you're not new, I apologize. I'm usually pretty good at remembering, but sometimes the old brain doesn't cooperate. All right, so I'm going to do this request, okay? And let me show you guys what I do here. Whenever I have a request, I keep forgetting to leave that little extra camera up. What I do is I go to my laptop, I just go to Google, and I just type in Hotline Bling, and I'm going to put sheet music, okay? And the request was for sax. So this is what I see. There we go. I see all these links here. Sometimes you got to see what the right one to pick is. if I go, sometimes if you go images, here we go. Let's find a good one. This one might be a good one. All right. Now this song, I don't actually, I know this was a really popular song. I don't really know it that well to play it, but let's give it a try. Okay. Oh, right. I know this one. Okay. Took me a second. So I'm going to start here. It gives you the main part of it. 3. 2, 3. 3. 2, 3, and oh, there we go. 2, 3. Okay, so this song, what we have here is we have 16th notes. You know when you count your 16th notes, so I'm counting my quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my eighth notes are going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and my 16th notes are going to be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a da 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 da. So starting here, I go just like that. All right, so there's a little tidbit of that. Let's go back to our chat. Let's keep it moving here. We say hello to Mr. Asterisk, or Mr. or Miss Asterisk. Hey, there's Griffin. Hello, Griffin. Ashoka, hello. If I didn't say hi to you yet. Oh, Skylar says you're watching from Vermont and it's snowing. It's snowing in Vermont. We haven't had snow here in my area we got snow right before Christmas, and that was it. Okay, so guys, do me a favor while I'm thinking of it. Go ahead and if you haven't already, if you could click. I keep forgetting to turn my little camera off. You guys remind me. Like this video if you haven't already, and if you're new, just make sure you subscribe so you get all my videos. Let's see. I did get the hotline bling. There we go. Sean, hello to Sean. Okay, Mia, can I play R. Lee on trumpet? Yeah, I think R. Lee is that the one that goes da 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 da? That's a very popular beginner tune. Let me just make sure I've got it right. Yeah. Okay. I'll play it in G major on the trumpet. So I'm going to go D, G, F sharp, G. Now on trumpet, I've talked to you about it's very important to get a good buzzing sound and get the buzzing sound on the mouthpiece. Your goal is to try to get a buzzing sound that's nice and steady and not choppy. There we go. All right. All right, here we go. This is R. Lee. Some of you might have heard this. Elvis Presley sang this melody with different words. Had a big hit with it. I want you to be able to see my valves. I'll turn this way. I bet Dennis knows the name of that one, the other name besides R. Lee. Dennis, you've heard that tune before, right?
Yes, Love Me Tender.
That's right, Elvis Presley. Okay, let's keep on moving. Okay. Sabrine says, I have a question about alto sax. I have a Mendini. Quinlan and Fabish says they can't fix the brand. I guess is that a music store? Okay, so Breen, here's the issue that when folks ask me on here, what type of saxophone do I recommend, and I talk about, or they ask me how expensive is a saxophone, I talk about how there's some brand names that are a little bit more reliable than others. Mendini is one of those that tends to have problems. It's kind of one of those saxophones that's at that lower price range. So some repair shops actually just won't even fix them because the parts are so different and they break. So all I can recommend is you could try a different music store, or if you can find someone who's not an official music repair shop but knows instruments, like a experienced saxophone player might be able to help you out if it's a part that is fixable without a replacement. That's my best advice. Okay. Now Shane has a great question. What bass clarinet do I use? What low C wooden bass clarinet do you recommend? Wow. So Shane is 12 and from Ireland. So thank you for joining us. So first, let me just say, I am not. My main performing as a musician is as a saxophone player. So I have not yet invested in a professional bass clarinet. The bass clarinet that I use for lessons is this one here that I just have from my school. And it's just a Selmer. It's called a 1430 LP. So it's like a student model. It's nothing fancy. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have a low C. I think it goes down to low E flat or low. Yeah, I think it just goes down to low E flat. So you were thinking of getting a Royal Polaris. Yeah, I actually, believe it or not, Shane, I've never heard of that brand. I'm sure it's a great brand. Just because I haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not a good brand. The big name in bass clarinets is Yamaha and Selmer, as far as I know. And yeah, they're really expensive. So let me know. I'm curious, Shane. Just if look up the Selmer bass clarinets. I don't know the model numbers. I'd have to look them up. But let me know what you're thinking of getting. Just maybe send me an email or let me know in the chat. I'd be curious to see what else is out there. But yeah, they are quite expensive. All right, Isabella. Let's see how my chat is doing. All right, try not to fall too far behind on my chat. Let's keep moving. Let's see. Guys, if you want, I saw somebody sharing their email. I recommend you don't share your email on the public chat here. What I'll do is at the end, I always share my email address with you guys, and then you can just send me an email, okay? All right. Harry Potter theme on clarinet. All right, again, here we go. Let me show you guys how to find this one. It's under Livestream Band and under Most Requested Band Tunes. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yep. So when you say the Harry Potter theme, most people are referring to Hedwig's theme. This one. Oh, this gets up pretty high on the clarinet, but I'm going to play it in the high range, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh. Yeah, really got to make sure your reed is ready to go to play those high notes. But that is a very fun song, and you can get it from the most requested band tunes on my website, Dr. Selfridge Music. Yosef, I'm currently playing flute, thinking about starting soprano. What do I say about it? Okay, this came up earlier, and was this you or a different person? Someone mentioned about flute and soprano sax. So flute and soprano sax have almost the same fingerings. Like on flute, it goes B, A, G, F, E, D. It's the same on the soprano sax. B, A, G, F, E, D. There's some different notes. The big thing is the mouth position, because flute, we do this. Saxophone, we do this. And on flute, it's a much closer lips together. So a lot of people double on flute and saxophone, so that's totally fine. The Batman theme. Which Batman theme, James? Because there's a lot of them. Do you mean like the old one? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like the really old one? Or from the movies? Let's see here. Sean says, I play saxophone and 42 instruments. Wow. I didn't know there were 42 instruments. I mean, I guess if you count all the percussion instruments. I got the Drake. Let's see here. Alan says, I play the clarinet. I have a hard time playing upper notes. Well, you heard me. I had a little bit of a harder time. I had a little bit of a hard time playing when I was playing. So, if you're trying to play upper notes and no sound is coming out at all, okay, there's a couple things that can be a problem for upper notes. One of them is make sure your reed is strong enough. If you're still playing on a 2.5 reed or a 2, the reed is not going to be able to handle the strength that you need to play those upper notes. So you at least need to be on a number 3, strength 3 reed. Then you need to make sure you're covering the holes correctly and not letting any air leak out. If you have any fingers kind of mispressed in the wrong place, it's going to mess up your note. And you got to make sure you are using strong air and your reed is positioned well. So if you don't push strong air, if you kind of play with sort of a weak air, it can't support the reed. Right? It just doesn't come out. You got to really do strong air. So there's some tips for you on that. Skylar plays the clarinet. Okay. So a couple people have requested Bad Guy. It's kind of interesting, guys. I was doing a lesson with my students in music theory class this week. It's at school. And we were talking about how people use computer software to produce songs. Anyway, we looked at Billie Eilish and Bad Guy and how she did all the separate tracks of singing every melody on top of melody, and she creates the harmony by singing multiple versions of her singing the different notes in the chord. Anyway, kind of interesting. How's this one go? The thing is, when she does this part, she's singing like all these harmony notes, so it's hard to pick out the one note that's the melody. But then this part, which everyone knows, is so there we go. I have a whole video where I do the whole thing, so check that out. Skylar, there we go. Got your request there. Let's see here. Zavolian, I missed the stream last week. Was there earlier? Oh, I think Zavolian, did you also ask me about Molly on the Shore? Remind me what you wanted me to do with that. I did play some of that last week, right? Okay. Okay, let's do a shout out to Oxbow High School, where Skylar goes to school. All right. Oh, on Amazing Grace on bass. Okay. Shout out to Iowa Park High School. All right. Shout out to that school. Whew. All right. So I actually don't have a bass guitar handy to play. So James, the question is, do you know, it would really help if you know, do you know the names of your notes on bass clarinet, on bass guitar? Like, can you play, if I said play a C, can you play a C? Or if I said play a D, can you play a D? Because then I could give you the notes. Like Amazing Grace would go D, G, B, G, B. Like I could give you the notes. So let me know if you know the notes on the bass. Skylar is in Bradford, Vermont. Okay. Oh, so Ramon, I'm not sure why your messages are getting deleted, but it might be like a mistake or a missed click. But shout out to Ramon, who's for Montemalaga Elementary School. Okay, here's an interesting question. If I have COVID, should I play my clarinet? Huh. That's really a tricky question. The short answer is I don't know, and I don't want to give medical advice if I'm not sure about it. That's something I would want to do some research on. But my only concern is, you'd want to look up, as long as you feel well enough to play, then it's probably okay. But then the question is, you've been breathing into this instrument, and how long does COVID last on a surface when it's lands on a surface? So the short answer is I'm not sure. So I would defer to maybe doing a little bit of research on that before I give you any advice on that. Okay. Let's see here. Ramon Sax. Oh, okay. Check out Ramon's Sax YouTube channel. Saye plays the flute and is a beginner. Okay. Let's see. Say hi to Allison. Mike says, I think I've managed to get notes for Happy Birthday, but I can't get it to sound right. Yeah, send them to me, Mike. Are you talking about the original Happy Birthday or the Stevie Wonder one? Okay. All right. Saya says, can I play E flat on the flute? Yes. Easy. Thumb. Now, normally you would have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but for E flat, we lift up this first finger, up, and you put down this finger, pinky. So it's thumb. It's like playing a D. Do you know what a D is? Thumb, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky. Now, if you're doing a low E flat, you put your first finger down. Okay. Yes, please. Thank you. One of our moderators, Uncle Joe. Please ask your question once. And I'm going through these questions right straight through. So if I miss your question, you can wait a couple minutes and ask it again, but don't ask it over and over again. We consider that spamming the chat. Don't spam the chat. Salil, hello, I play Alto. Would I list a practice routine that would cover all basic? Woof. Wow. That's a big question. So, what I would recommend, Celia, I'm not going to go through each exercise individually, but a good practice routine should consist of a warm-up, long tones, practicing your intonation with a tuner if you have a tuner. You could do scale exercises, arpeggio exercises. You could have a etude that you're working on. You could have a piece of solo literature that you're working on. Maybe something jazz to work on. So all those things, if you spend, say 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes on each thing, you've got a 60, 90-minute practice session. There's a little bit of an introduction, but that's an in-depth question that would take a while to answer. Here we go. Allison, can I play For Elise on clarinet? Sure. Let's go back to here, and we're going to go to, instead of most requested tunes, we're going to go to live stream band. We're going to go to, live stream band, classical melodies. Did they say what instrument? Clarinet. Okay, Allison, here we go. I got a lot of fun classical melodies on this packet, which again is drselfridgemusic.com/classical-melodies. And here we go. Now, if you go to play some of these from this packet, they're not going to be the same key as playing along with the original classical song, because some of these I changed the key to work better for band instruments. All right, make sure my reed is working. All right, here we go. We have 3 beats in a measure. I'm going to count 1, 2. 1, 2. Repeat. And I got to check out my reed here. My reed's not cooperating too well, but there we go. There is a little bit of that. You know, I haven't checked in with Dennis in a while. And I'm kind of going through every question here on the chat, Dennis, but anything jumping out that I should get to soon?
The one I was focusing on was the one about COVID, and there's a couple of people chiming in on there, which is really good.
Yeah.
Talking about their experience with this.
You know what? And Dennis, I'm thinking what I probably should have said is call your doctor and ask your doctor, because, you know, the doctor will say, like, you know, playing a wind instrument, you know, you're putting your aerosols in the instrument, and your doctor would tell you if it's a kind of thing where you should just avoid it, or you can wait like 2 weeks and then you're okay. I'm not sure. So what else, Dennis? Was there anything else?
James Culbertson asked you to check out his YouTube channel. Can you Lafrinoia Overlord on clarinet?
So
can you ask you to play songs that are not on your homepage?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So let's go to. So Skylar had some advice there on the clarinet. Yeah, but I would thank you, Skylar, for that. I would recommend though that you do talk to your doctor about that. Okay. So Sean Bryan says I should do "Remember Me." You mean from Coco? That's a fun song. Maybe I'll get to that one if I can find it. Remember Me. So Zavolian says, yeah, update on Molly on the Shore. Zavolian, what do you I'm pretty behind in the chat, so you might have already asked me. Let me keep going. Seven Nation Army on the trumpet. Here we go. This is in our beginner band tunes. What key we're going to do this in? Bum, 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 bum. There's like a low version, which I do for my elementary kids. Now, we can also do it in a higher key, which would be this. So those are two different ways of doing Seven Nation Army. Undertale theme on clarinet. All right. This one I get a lot. This one goes like this. That one jumps around a lot, and it's got kind of a blues scale type of thing going on, which is kind of cool. And then also alto sax. Sure. Ramon, Dennis is highlighting for Ramon. I'll do the same thing, okay? Oh boy. Let me think here. Sorry. It's the same thing up top every time, and the low note changes. So let me try to get it right. Sorry. Like that. All right. Griffin, Waltz Chromatic. Griffin, is that from that same book? Is it from the Brubaker book? Let me see if I can find this. Brubaker solo trumpet waltz. Let's see if I can find it. Waltz Chromatic. Yes. All right. So our friend Griffin here requests this song from this book right here. All right. So I'm going to go down and play this one. Waltz Chromatic, page 14. Let's see here. Legend, Meadowlark, Oriole, Scherzo, Starling. These are a lot of these are named after types of birds. Here we go. Okay, Griffin. So we got some fermatas here. Oh, look at all. So Waltz Chromatic's got all these chromatic notes in it. I'm sight reading this, which means I've never played it before. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's an F natural. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Two, three. Oh, sorry, I played a B flat. It's B naturals. I'm going to start right on this A right here. 1, 2, 3. Then there's a key change. That's a nice little song there, Griffin. Thank you for suggesting that. Let's keep on moving. James says, my native home is Scotland. Oh, that's cool. That's where our friend Mike Hamilton is from. Ashoka, here we go. I've been practicing 30 to 60 plus minutes a day for the past few weeks or so, but I feel like I'm not improving. Oh, let me go over here. Boop. Only thing I can think of to improve is to practice longer. Okay. You know, I was thinking about talking about this today, everybody, and so it's a great question. How to have a effective practice session. So I would say, first of all, if you've been practicing that much a day, I guarantee you're going to improve. It might not feel like it because all of us, it's very common to have a thing where you feel like you would call it a plateau when you hit sort of like you're climbing a mountain and you hit this spot and you just feel like you can't go any higher. There's nowhere to go. but you just got to keep practicing through those things. Maybe find something new and different to practice to kind of get you sparked and excited. But if you feel like you're not improving, make sure you're writing down your goals, like specific goals. Like, I want to be able to play a chromatic scale at 160 beats per minute in triplets, and then write down how fast each day. And you'll see as you get each day, you'll get better and better. So that way you'll prove to yourself that you're getting better. That's one way to do it. Okay. Let's keep on moving. All right, we're going to say hi to some new people. I've been saying hi to as many people as we go. Zavolian says bye-bye and stay safe. Thank you, Zavolian. Skylar, what brand clarinet would I recommend? Selmer, Yamaha are the top two. Selmer, what's the top Selmer that people recommend? I don't have it at the tip of my tongue. Yeah, just look up Selmer Professional or Intermediate Level. I keep forgetting about my little side camera. Selmer and Yamaha. Kaiser, I'm learning alto sax on my own, but I'm not getting a good D note. Why? So Kaiser, are you asking about the low D or the upper one? Because both have their issues. So if you're talking about this one, if it's the low one, most people have problems with that low one because they're not keeping their embouchure enough like an O shape. If your embouchure is too much like an M flat, your low note's going to crack. Oh. Now, if it's this one with the octave key, that one tends to crack because your hand accidentally hits this side key. So be careful about that. Yes, Mike's way ahead of me. See if you can describe the issue, what's happening. Mike's had a good question that I guess I missed and Dennis highlighted. Is it more advisable to practice circle of fourths or scales? I would say scales. So circle of fourths is good as a warm-up, But learning all your scales is very important, okay? So I would go just bit by bit learning each scale. Kaiser says it's 2:11 a.m. Wow. Well, actually, at this point, it's probably 2:47. Am I that far behind on my? No, I'm not. Good. Okay. Shane's back with the brands. Oh boy, look at those. 6,000 pounds Royal Polaris. 5,000 Royal Firebird Buffet. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of when I said Selmer for clarinets. I meant Buffet, but I think does Selmer make Buffet? I'm not sure, but yeah, Buffet E11 I think is a really good clarinet. But look at this, Buffet bass clarinet, almost 10,000 pounds. Wow. Old Town Road on alto sax, sure. I'm trying to remember what key I do this in. Ba, ba, ba. Squeak. Boy. I'm not using a neck strap. That's probably why. That goes back to the other part. Yeah, that's a fun one. That song is a couple years old now. Giorno's theme, Buck Buck. I don't know what song that is. If you could let me know or give me more info on that. Let's see. Oh, Kaiser. When I play the C scale, everything sounds good except the D note. Okay, so I assume, again, It'd be helpful if you could tell me which octave you're talking about. Is it the low one? Or is it this one? Because it's usually different issues for the two notes. Mike has some good advice on... Oh, he did come back. The low D. Interesting. You know, that could... So, Kaiser, if your low C is coming out, but your D isn't, it might be a problem with your saxophone. So, yeah, I mean, if your low C is coming out, but your low D is not, that's kind of unusual. Because usually if you've got the embouchure set for the low C, the low D is going to work too. How do you jazz improvise? Am I really going to make it all the way to the end of the chat here? Wow. How do I jazz improvise? Wow. Okay, so how can I start talking about jazz improv? Basically, Ashoka, whatever song you decide you're going to improvise on, there's two approaches. The first approach is I'll play trombone. Since you play the trombone, I'll take my trombone out, except I'm not all warmed up at all. So the first way people started improvising, and I'd say a really good way for you to start, take the melody of whatever song it is and start to just play around with the melody. So like you take When the Saints Go Marching In. That's the melody. So then people just started improvising by adding some little notes in. Yeah, Mike. Putting little chromatic notes in, extra notes. So that's the first way to do it, is just kind of jazz it up with some different notes. Then you get into using a scale. So if you're playing When the Saints Go Marching In F major, you could use something called an F major. You could use the whole F major scale. Can I play an F major scale on trombone? You could use all those notes. And then another thing we can do is we can pull out certain notes of the major scale that sound really nice, which is called with F major pentatonic, which is F, G, A, C, D, F. So we take that special scale and we use that to improvise. Like. Okay, so there's just a little bit. There's two main things. There's playing the scale. Playing around on the melody and making up new ideas, or taking the scale that fits with the song and making up your own new melody. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Mike, okay, so before we run out of time, Mike's trivia question about Mary Lou Williams. So I'm going to answer the first part. Or Dennis, do you want to try to answer? Do you know the instrument that Mary Lou Williams played?
She was a pianist, right?
Yeah, piano player. And she also wrote arrangements, like big band arrangements.
Right.
I'm not sure, though, Mike, what you might have to give the answer is who her students were. I'm going to think maybe she worked with Thad Jones or other famous jazz arrangers. Mike, I'm curious what the trivia answer is for that part. All right, let's keep rocking. We have about, what time is it? Oh, just a few minutes left. Oh, we have about 5 minutes left. Okay. The Tetris theme on clarinet. Alan, can we save that one for next time? That'll take me a minute to look it up, and we're getting close to the end, okay? Thank you, Kaiser. James says, I do know the notes on the bass. Okay, so Let me show. Oh, guys, I didn't get a chance to show you my new toy. Look at this. Ready? So I got a document camera. Let me turn up. I can turn up here, yeah. I got a document camera, so look at this. Ready? I can show you. Woo, sorry, that was probably loud. So this is a picture of my desk, and I've got my little keyboard here. So I'm going to show. This is for James how to play Amazing Grace. I think for bass, it might work to do it in the key of. Let's do it in the key of G. So if you're in the key of G, let me take it down to bass range. You'd go. You could write these notes down if you want, James. D, G. Then we go B, G, B. A, G. E, D. So I'm going to go over that again. D, G. B, G, B. A, G. E, D. And then it goes similar. But then it goes A, D. Oops. Then B, D, B, D, B, G. It's very low for me to sing. D, E. And then the same as the beginning. There we go. You know what this is reminding me of, guys? I don't know if any of you guys are on TikTok, but have you seen all these videos on TikTok that have been going with people singing sea shanties? Dennis, this is pretty. There's this new trend on TikTok of people singing sea shanties, right? Yo ho ho, and whatever. And they're actually really good. So Dennis, they're one of the videos that went viral, like at 5 million, 6 million views, whatever, is a student who graduated from Garnet Valley last year and was in our choir. So it's pretty cool. I might get next week. I might get to it and show you guys. It's just him singing. He's got this really deep bass voice, and it's just really cool. So something to check out for next time. So guys, we are close to the end, believe it or not. Let me just see if I can answer a few more questions. Oh, so Isabella says, I have heard of the trend. Yeah. So if you guys go, maybe we'll watch it next week. There's this one kid who sings this duet, and he's got holding his microphone like this kid with blonde hair. His name is, oh my goodness, Luke Taylor, who graduated from my high school where I teach last year. And he's gotten so much more developed as a singer. It's really good. I recommend you check out his videos. Another question from Shane. Is that an Irish tenor banjo on the wall? It is a banjo. You guys can see it there. I don't know if it's from Ireland. It was handed down to me from my uncle. I have a feeling it was manufactured in the United States. But yeah, I do have that. I do have a banjo. Let's see here. Mike Hamilton says, Thelonious Monk. Oh, okay. Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah, all of the bebop folks. Thelonious, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, Tad Dameron, Bud Powell, Dizzy Gillespie. All the great names. So let's see. Before we go, Skylar Robinson. Oh, let's get Skylar first. I've been playing clarinet for 5 years. Oh, absolutely. I would recommend moving to a number 3 reed. Okay? And Denoson, Girl from Ipanema. Save that for me for next week, okay? We're out of time. Mike, you have asked, we talked a little bit before about playing with backing tracks. Yeah, the best I can say is just try playing with backing tracks that maybe aren't too fast. And the key to staying on track with a backing track is always think of the melody. How does the melody fit in? And hopefully that will help you. Shane, what's the most expensive instrument I own? This one right here. This is a sort of a limited edition soprano sax that I got. It's a top, really top brand. This was about $7,500, almost $8,000. Very pricey. All right. So thank you all. James, you are welcome. Alan says, I'll be back next week. Skylar says, bye-bye. James says, thank you for helping. I'm very happy to I hope that was helpful, even though I don't have a bass to show you. Yes. Uncle Joe says, I am not a medical doctor. I am a PhD in music education. Oh, okay. Ashoka was making a little joke there. Yes. If I were a medical doctor, then you could just ask me about COVID, but I don't have a medical degree. All right, guys. So it is about time to wrap up. Dennis, another great show. Thank you for helping out.
Yeah, it was a lot of questions. That was great.
Yeah. Always great questions. And I really appreciate everybody in the chat working with each other and helping answer each other's questions. So thank you to everyone. And on my next screen, as I say goodbye and end the show, you will see my Instagram. You can follow me, and Twitter and Facebook. And also you can send me an email, drselfridgemusic@gmail.com. And until next week, everybody. Oh, let's say hi to this person who just popped in at the end here. Says, is it Spaken? I'm not sure how to say your name. I just stumbled upon this channel right at the end. I'm amazed. All right, come back next week. We're here every Sunday, so thanks so much for being here. Bye. Thank you all. And have a great week. Make sure you practice, everybody. All right, take care. I'll see you soon. There's Chewy.